Hi Libra, welcome to your January 2019 love reading. It's Raina. So I'm going to do my typical spread with this Morgan Greer deck, and then I'm going to, if I remember, do a Whispers of Love card for you. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Star card. This is a card of, wanting something to happen. Maybe you're really have your dreams set on something, but it can be that you are hopeful again after perhaps a disappointment or something that needed healing, because this is a card of healing. This card connects to Aquarius, so that could be somebody that you're involved with or were involved with. This reading, I'm trying to be more conscious of people who are single. If you're single and this Star card is in the kind of the overall position, perhaps there is somebody that you are attracted to who's an Aquarius, or that you hope that you can have a relationship with. In the foundation, we have the Ten of Pentacles. And, well, it's possible that the Ten of Pentacles, I always associate this with Capricorn. And, yeah, Libra and Capricorn of all the earth signs. And here's that. And so this could be someone who, let's not just limit it to Capricorn, but an earth sign individual who you thought was the one for you. Maybe you're looking for that special person. And the reason I said thought in the past tense was because in looking at the challenge card, this is the Ace of Pentacles. It can either mean that the relationship has not been able to get going for some reason, and it feels like maybe the timing was off, in the sense that maybe they are still involved with somebody or you're still involved with somebody, but you can tell that there is chemistry, or you can tell that they really care, or you think they would make a good partner, and yet for some reason it can't get off the ground, because the Ace is the beginning of something, and yet it's in the challenge position. So it means that it's not acting as an ace. It's kind of acting as, it's like some delay, or in some cases, because the Ace of Pentacles relates to something permanent or solid, or, something that has legs, if you've ever heard that expression, that isn't like unstable, that is actually stable. But in the challenge position, maybe it is unstable. And one thing about this Ten of Pentacles is it could have something to do with a class difference. Maybe this person is very wealthy, because that's what the Ten of Pentacles connects with. And you are from a lower class. And when I say lower class, I'm not acting like we're in a caste system or anything. But you know how it is, because it doesn't even matter if we officially have something like that or not. When you come from different walks of life and you're colliding like that, and by the way, this could even be like family. The number 10 connects with family. So it could be that you don't feel accepted by this person's family, and therefore they are kind of pulling back perhaps, and you really feel like this person's the one, but there are some kind of complications around it that keep it from happening. The higher message is the Page of Cups. So this is kind of a card, you know, it is associated with Pisces, but that water energy. And it's page, so we're talking about children, or a child who is very sensitive, or an aspect to a person that is like a child. So I wouldn't go as far as saying childish, but it could be a little bit of that, where, and it doesn't, I'm not saying it's on your end either. It could be on the other person's end. But if it is on your end, you may be naive about the situation. You might think that this is your soulmate, and that you're not realizing that this person might have their own, maybe they have their own prejudices against you, and they know, intellectually they may know that you are a good person, and that even that you have a good relationship, but they're too invested in their image, their family, approval. They're too much into that, and so you may be thinking that, wow, we're going to be together someday, and you're kind of being naive about it because it's not happening. Now, if you're having a physical relationship with this person, that might be even more the case, where it's like you're having a relationship with somebody on some level, but you're looking for the whole enchilada. You're looking to be together, not just to have rendezvous, but to actually be together forever. And you may be barking up the wrong tree in some cases, and you're naive about it. It can be that that person is emotionally immature, and they're not ready to be their own person. They're too wrapped up in what their family thinks. I'm going to say this. I think this is so important to consider, is that if you meet somebody and you get to know them, maybe you start dating them, and they don't want to introduce you to their family, or there's something about their family where it's, even if they're in their 40s or something, and they are like, their family is so still wields such a strong control over them, that is a red flag, because it means that you're going to marry into them, or you're going to be living with them too. And even if that person doesn't acts like, you know, they're not going to listen to their family or what have you, that there could still be a lot of complications. So it's very important to look at how that person deals with their family. If they're like still acting like a child, and maybe that's what the Page of Cups is that they still are like emotionally on the level of the child, where they let their family tell them what to do and push them around, even though they are in their 30s or 40s, you know. And that's not going to work, because they're going to, there's going to be triangulation. They're going to, you know, it's just a mess. But you know, everyone has to do what they got to do. So I just wanted to put that out there. But on the more practical level, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is a card of, sometimes this is a card of excessive greed. So that might be another thing that's going on, where the person, you're with someone and you want to start a relationship, but they're afraid of being involved with somebody full time, because they're afraid, you know, like, let's say it's somebody who says all women are gold diggers, or I don't want to get caught up in this because then they're going to take my money at some point. And so they might be, or maybe it's just like in terms of incompatibility, because you have a lot of interests and they're just interested in materialism, and you're just bored by that. You don't have the same things that you like to talk about, and yet you have some attraction to them, or you have a strong, maybe there's something even a bit irrational about this relationship, and you feel this pull towards a particular person, but when you really look at it, there's so much that doesn't make sense about it. I just think it's very interesting that the Ten of Pentacles is part of this. And it can be too, it could be a situation where that person is coming from a divorce and they had to deal with splitting up the whatever that somebody told me what it is, the estate, for it's not an estate, but the two people's assets, and they may be kind of like still raw from that, and so they are kind of paranoid about their financial situation and overly concerned about that at the moment. Again, a timing issue. Maybe if somebody has just gotten divorced, they may not feel like really healed from that situation. And so you may look at them and think, kind of judge that. And it's just temporary because, it's so recent that this has happened for them. What is coming in is represented by the Chariot card. So the Chariot card connects to Cancer. And other than that, if there is a Cancer person in your life, I should say. But the other thing, maybe there is a Cancer person coming into your life. However, this could be a card where you feel a sense of that your life is under control. And I got a similar situation for Aquarius. It almost makes me wonder, is this an Aquarius? Yeah, there were a couple of cards that were like a fellow air sign. So maybe it's you an Aquarius person, Libra. And you feel like everything has calmed down. So if you've been, maybe that Four of Pentacles is you, and you're just kind of like trying to be very practical because somebody else may have taken you to the cleaners. I don't know. But it's a positive card. When I see the Chariot, my first thought is always like how they're holding on to the reins. So it's like the horses are not driving the driver. And that means, that's kind of like a metaphor for the monkey mind, the mind that's out of control, that is subject to whatever is happening outside of itself. The meditative mind is under the control of the master, of the person himself or herself. And this makes you have greater clarity of thought and be able to live your life in a more peaceful way instead of chaos. And the outcome, we have this Hangman in reverse. I'm going to make sure I put it like this when I put it back in the deck, because this is the reversed position. But this can simply mean that I've been getting that card a lot lately too. And a couple of these cards connect to Pisces, so I don't know if that's a timing thing. I think that with this particular position as the outcome, it's like letting go of this idea that relationships are about sacrifice, and that's kind of the type of paradigm that a lot of people get caught up in, that in order to love, you have to maybe lose something, or that you have to give up yourself. And it's, if you're in a situation where somebody, whether overtly or covertly, is trying to imply that you're not good enough for them, for their family, for their circle of friends, or if somebody is kind of like almost giving you the message that I'm afraid that you may have ulterior motives about why you're dating me and things like that, that you don't pursue something like that. Because those kinds of things, sometimes people think, well, that's just part of what relationships are about. Some people are very bitter, and I have to understand that. And I disagree. I think that the reason that that person experienced, if they've experienced betrayal and some of those things sometimes, could be because their attitude is not that great. And so they kind of convey the cynicism that where the universe shows them exactly what they think about life. You know, that's part of the law of attraction as well, is that if you create your own reality, and your reality is that everyone is out for themselves and they're just trying to screw over another person and stuff like that, you probably will see it wherever you go, whether it's a distortion of somebody's behavior or you actually attract that sort of person to you. You know, I do think that that happens. And then the person says, see, I told you so. This is how it is. And it's not how it is. It's how they think life is. And then they don't realize that they can change their thoughts. So anyway, I think that understanding that some things are, that when you sacrifice your own self-worth for somebody else, that ends up hurting you, I could put under this category. Because this is like in the, and it's also too a time to, you know, get off the fence and just make a decision about something. I know Libras love to make decisions. And maybe you just need to move on from a situation. You have felt like somebody has jerked you around, kept you in a state of suspension, and now you're ready to just make the decision for them, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Libra. If you'd like a private reading where I use your natal chart, a lot of astrology in that reading to pinpoint things better for me, at least. Please, this for the love readings, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have an amazing January. Take care. Bye.